Hey guys, weekend energy update. We have a lot to talk about this weekend. Of course, we had a real busy week energetically. We had a lot going on, big planets changing signs, changing directions, coming into alignment with one another. We've definitely reached a point of some fated endings, especially in the realms of career, business, finance, love, money, relationships, investments, stuff like that really kind of shifting and changing right now, maybe in some unexpected ways. There could be a lot of fears being triggered along those lines as well. And going into the energy this weekend, we also have a Sun-Saturn opposition playing out. This is an energy that can have a tendency of having us see the glass half empty, really making it very apparent to us where the various limitations and pressures are being placed on us in our lives, and it can feel kind of overwhelming. Also, with all this Black Moon, Libra, Venus, South Node emphasis, there can be real fears of like having to face something alone or being rejected from something somehow that is interfering with our ability to see the world through, maybe the more positive lens that we normally do as we move through the course of the weekend. We also have a Mercury Uranus square that's going on this weekend. That it could be some shocking information or conversation or news, sudden changes to plans, sudden like upsets, things generally disheveling the comfort zone. Like things are just a bit unsettling. There's also kind of a lot of anxiety, I think, right now in the energy field as well, with the strong Uranian presence that we have going on. And yeah, we've got quite a bit to talk about as we close out this week, head towards next week. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's talk about where we're at, pick back up from where we left off on Wednesday, and see what things are looking like carrying us through the weekend and as we head towards next week. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, September 6th, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. Let's get into the astrology. It has been an eventful week, as I said in my intro. Ever since September 1st, we had Pluto re-enter Capricorn. We had Uranus station retrograde. We then had Mars enter the sign of Cancer. We've had this Black Moon Venus South Node conjunction happening in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, who is in that conjunction. And we also had the moon there as well this week, like hyper activating that energy. And then we also had our new moon in Virgo that happened to open our week as well. And now this weekend, we have our exact Sun-Saturn opposition, and we've got this Mercury-Uranus square as well. The Sun and Saturn in opposition, we've been dealing in some very strong Saturnian energy this summer, especially August, when we had a square happening between Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, Mars and Jupiter in a conjunction, and Gemini and Saturn in the sign of Pisces. This may have been honestly putting us through it a bit, bringing up some really like challenging or difficult experiences that we kind of came head to head with, like in the middle of the month of August, that maybe we really needed to like pull something out of ourselves to overcome. Well, we could find as we are, moving through the weekend right now, or, it could have gone on actually over the course of this past week, some of these same issues maybe coming back up, or just some of these struggles like that have the same type of vibe going on that we are facing or navigating, because now we have the sun coming into another harsh aspect opposition with Saturn. So it's a lot. There's just a lot happening. This could be a very heavy energy as well. We could feel really kind of just like overwhelmed or overburdened, or like just done with things, like not really. There could be also, with Saturn retrograding through Pisces, there could be people that are just totally like abandoning their responsibilities and their duties, and just like really non-committal and not wanting to keep putting forth the work or the effort maybe that they've been putting up for some reason, like until this point of time. There's a lot of different ways that this energy could function, but there is something to do with material structures or foundations or material comforts or securities somehow, or also relationships, partnerships, that could be triggering a lot of fears basically in the energy right now, and also causing a need for us to let go of something, shift direction, or shift our focus somehow. A lot of fated endings are coming to play. We've been talking about it all week. We've got a South Node Black Moon conjunction going on. That's literally, I mean, the South Node is a karmic release point. The Black Moon, this is fears, worries, insecurities, doubts, our own like unhealed inner wounds that lead to any type of internal toxicity or darkness essentially within us, okay? This is being able to like overcome and release that on some level. Now, happening in the sign of Libra, this could have to do with financial situations, with just like our enmeshments and attachments to others, with having to like face something alone, being cast out, being rejected, being not accepted. Remember, we have the North Node right now in the sign of Aries. That means that like our collective destiny at this point in time is actually to like put our big boy and girl pants on and like not be defined by like the groups that we've been associated with in the past, like be able to stand on our own 2 feet without any type of necessarily like group support, or you know, the security of like some like foundational like social dynamic or community dynamic or financial dynamic, perhaps even, that had been just like providing that level of comfort or security or peace in the past. There's definitely shakeups going on in terms of the comfort zone of things, but with the North Node in Aries, it's like the fears, honestly, that we are overcoming now are showing us who we really are, what we're truly capable of, and who we can become if we are, you know, if we can get past that version of ourselves that was afraid to take that step forward. You know, there's risk-taking energy coming through here. As much as like, you know, again, that's like not ever the most like comfortable thing when you feel like, you know, you're juggling whether or not you should take a risk and it's going to like pay off materially. That is sort of just the vibe coming through here. It's like universe, a lot, it's the tower energy, right? We've got Uranus stationed right now. We've got Uranus trining Pluto. There are important transformations happening materially that are unblocking previous blockages to growth by way of like showing us our true potential and what we're truly capable of. But we're a lot of cases, I think people are getting like booted out of the nest, you know what I mean, and just finding themselves in a position where they're like something is, universe is like, okay, fly, you know, and we just got to figure it out. And like that whole fear, you know, like, should I wait to get booted or should I just jump? But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know what's waiting for me on the other side. I don't know what will become of me. Like, these could be a lot of questions that are coming up right now. And with the Saturn influence also, I will tell you, if you are struggling with something like this and you were just really feeling very overwhelmed and like consumed by like self-doubt and don't know how you're going to make it happen, or you're going to make something work, or, you know, if you're going to be successful at something right now, don't attach to whatever lens of perception you might be perceiving things through as we move through the weekend. With a Saturn Sun opposition, like everything looks its most bleak. Like we can see the flaws in things and the reasons why things cannot happen so much more clearly than we can see the possibility or the potential for things to actually happen. But I will tell you, the position of the North Node right now at 7 degrees of the sign of Libra, that Sabian, or of Aries, sorry, the South Node is in Libra, the North Node is in Aries. That Sabian symbol is a man successfully expressing himself in 2 realms at once. Like, I do think, you know, the risks that we take now, if we know that, you know, it's aligned with what we are really just like on a higher level being called towards, I do think that there is great opportunity for successful outcomes being represented through literally the destiny point, speaking about a successful transition, a man successfully expressing himself in 2 realms at once, 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other world, maybe the bridge between, but it's working out either way. Like, he's successful at what he's doing in the sign of Aries. Like, the risks that we can take, the moves that we're making right now are likely to be successful, even if if it is just part of that transitional process, you know, bridging us from that old version to whatever we're going or growing, whatever direction we're going or whatever we're growing into right now, you know. So there's that, but it is just likely to be, quite honestly, like an insecure, unstable, like materially unstable time. We've got Pluto retrograding through Capricorn. This is gonna, in a trine to Uranus, who just stationed in Taurus. Like, this is literally energy on a very collective, like macrocosm level that is going to destroy the foundations and the structures of things that we've been involved with or enmeshed with, or just like standing on and existing within, that are in any way like prohibiting us from going through a necessary phase of growth right now. So Uranus and Taurus, like any comfort zones, anywhere that we've just been not essentially like pushing ourselves to jump out of that nest or take the risk, we're likely to see the foundations or the structures that supported our ability to be comfortable in that way really start to get shaky and come down right now. So, you know, we've got that causing us to have to face fears. The black moon is there in our shadows. I mean, it's indicated in several ways. We've got the earth sign trine between Pluto and Capricorn, and Uranus retrograde in Taurus, right? Taurus ruled by Venus. And then we just had this south node, black moon, Venus, Libra, moon conjunction happen the literal same week, which is very, very, very much in alignment with the Pluto, Uranus, Taurus, Capricorn square. I mean, we're even talking about Pluto and the black moon both representing these like darker underworld energies that are in a process of being transformed, overcome and released as well, to assist our process of removing blockages to growth and activating a higher destiny that needs to come into alignment right now as we are transitioning ages and going through an energetic shift from the dominance of the age of Pisces frequency that has been kind of responsible for the way that things have been going and manifesting in our lives and on the planet, moving forward as these new Aquarian and frequencies come in and begin to like take the energetic stronghold, you know what I mean, become the dominant energetic field that we've got going on out there. That is all about like us as individuals coming into a greater alignment with like our higher purpose and our true potential and our destiny, as that is what Aquarian and Uranian energy does, is it seeks to facilitate the proper unfolding of like a higher plan or a cosmic blueprint. So there's a destined like realignment of things going on right now, and it is releasing us from things that, you know, we may have loved. And that's another thing, like with the Libra Venus energy, like this could also be having to let go of things that we've loved in the past. Not only things that made us feel maybe secure or safe, but like have like genuinely had a piece of our heart. And for whatever reason, things maybe being out of our control, like we just can't, like it's run its course or it's come to an end, and having to go through maybe some difficult endings associated with that, which is also represented through Saturn transiting the sign of Pisces. You guys, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. This is a sign all about endings, and Saturn is also retrograding right now, and Saturn is the past also. This is like, there's so many different ways that the chart right now is indicating we are at a point of karmic release. And even if it makes us sad, you know, even if we don't love it, the endings right now are purposeful and they're necessary, because we've got to be pushed out of the nest, you guys, so that we can rediscover what we're really capable of, because that is the North Node in Aries. All right, it's all about helping us ultimately to grow, learning how to do it on our own. The Uranus-Taurus transit, that is also calling us to awaken to our ability to be more self-reliant, like more self-reliant, more like self-sustaining and stuff like that, like better able to like build our own world around us through what we are like discovering that we have inside. Again, unblocking passageways to our ability to grow and create and produce in the world. Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And in order to get there, we have to learn that we actually can do that. And in order to learn that we can do that, you know, we may have to be put in a position where we just have no choice but to stand up and do that. And I feel like that is a lot of what the tower moments and everything going on right now are ultimately about. But, you know, lost security, maybe lost support, fears associated with that could be themes. But also the flip side of that is that we will be shown our true potential, our true capability, and that will actually change everything in terms of the way that we are interfacing with our reality being and interfacing with our reality moving forward. We, with the North Node in Aries, will find ourselves motivated to become more of and embody more so whatever personal power we discover through our process of perseverance and triumph over that which seeks to destroy us in this energy. You guys, we will not let that happen. We will overcome, we will endure through it, and on the other side of it, we will become the masters of our own reality, and we won't be dealing with these reoccurring circumstances and situations to the same extent that we had in the past. So we're reinventing ourselves, right? Based on our ability to awaken, grow, transform, and overcome right now. And if there is like literally nothing you can do to change your circumstances, if you feel like you're just up against something that is totally out of your control, focusing on a positive mental frame, a positive mindset in any way that you can frame it, personal growth, self-improvement, this will shift your vibration in a way that will shift your circumstances. One of my favorites is every man is a golden link in the chain of my good. I do truly believe that even like when people and situations come into my life that make things really difficult or really scary for me, or that like, you know, I really don't like personally, I do like in my soul of soul believe that I will ultimately benefit from that interaction somehow. And so I always try to tell myself to view whatever interaction or person or whatever that is through the lens of them being a gold, or the mental frame of them truly being a golden link in the chain of my good. And even though, you know, I may not necessarily understand through the present interaction what this is about, in retrospect, I will see the value and I will be grateful for that experience. So that like frees us, right? If we can look at things in through that lens, it frees us to not be a vessel for the negative energy that actually could hinder our ability to, you know, just keep us coming up against more restrictions, more obstacles, you know, issues, pulling us down to the negative sides of the manifestations of the vibrations right now, which it's already such like kind of an oppressive energetic atmosphere when we've got a Saturn Sun opposition, that the more that we can do to like open up our mind to the possibility and not allow ourselves to just be dominated by the repression or the oppression or the negative side of things, that really is our way out of these circumstances. It can create room energetically for us to like shift and attract something different, or for our circumstances to shift. So, you know, the more that we like maintain a hold on that negative energy, the longer we're going to be in a circumstance that is creating that negative energy. Okay, so if you find yourself there, finding a way to shift your perspective so that you somehow can frame it in a way that is not keeping you attached to that negative vibration, that will shift your circumstance way faster than just like staying upset about it. Okay, now we have the Sun-Saturn opposition. It's going to come exact Saturday into Sunday. Just to like really nail down some specifics about this individual transit, it can make us just like very aware, as I mentioned earlier, of limitations imposed on us by circumstances, by other people, specifically usually also by like authority figures or rules or regulations. Somehow it can be really hard not to be overwhelmed by that also, like I said, and really like focusing on the worst of things and not the best of things in this energy. And we're familiar with it, right? Like August was a whole Saturn square party, so it's not something new. It's also this tension, right? It's this heavy energy, feeling burdened and just like overwhelmed. Saturn also retrograding through Pisces. Like I was saying, there could be people that are just like totally dropping the ball and choosing not to participate in the commitments or the obligations that they had previously agreed to somehow. People quitting things, people walking away, people like deciding not to put up with it again. And we're coming, like, it's interesting, you know, we've got, there could also be health issues with this. Pisces, Saturn, this is weakening and breaking down our immune system. And then Virgo also, where the sun is, this is the sign of health. And another thing that I want to say, that Mercury Uranus square, that is actually also like playing into this Sun Saturn opposition. And that is because we have Mercury and the sun right now in a mutual reception. I've been talking about this as well. The sun is transiting Virgo, ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's in Leo, ruled by the sun. So there is like a highlight on information right now. There's sort of like a blending between the sun solar energy and the mercurial energy. And with the Uranus square there as well, there could, in the Saturn opposition, this could also be like shocking things to do with like health or wellness or well-being or like daily routine. This could also be career, like work, like daily schedule oriented. There could be like some unexpected shifts or changes to like our work schedule or something like that going on. Or again, like this could be bringing up like information unexpectedly about health issues or health issues generally. But lowered vitality levels are likely to be going on right now. We've also got Mars in Cancer. Mars just made a square to Neptune also. I'm recommending this week that we do what we can to kind of like nurture ourselves, have patience with ourselves and others, try to cultivate kind of like a sense of compassion and just kind of engage in, you know, self-care, making sure that we are getting enough sleep, staying on, making sure that we are on some type of routine that is good for us, not just letting ourselves go all over the place. That could also be beneficial while we have this energy going on with the sun in Virgo. This likes order, this likes organization, this likes schedule and routine. Saturn also is kind of about that stuff. So if we can engage in that type of behavior, it will probably be beneficial to an extent as we move through this period of time as well. But yeah, issues communicating could be coming up, feeling blocked, restrained, constricted somehow. Compromises could also on one level be required here as well. Finding something productive and rewarding to do this weekend that requires concentration, that is best use of this energy. And things could just seem sort of maybe a bit serious or, you know, grave or dire somehow. Saturn has a tendency of doing that as well. Conversations, information, or just the way that things are going generally. But remember, ultimately right now, you guys, things are happening for our highest good, and we are navigating the circumstances that we need to in order to actually grow into who we are meant to become at this period of time. And these tests that we go through are sort of the transformative force that is pushing us in that direction and forcing us to face and overcome aspects and elements of ourselves that may have been holding us back in the past. This is, you know, facing the darkness and the pressure, knowing that it's turning us into diamonds. So that's what I have to say today about the astrology, you guys. We're gonna make it through this. It is just a very intense time right now. As we talk about on this channel, we're literally at a highlight point in our transition of ages, and there's a lot changing, a lot of things happening, a lot of things shifting, a lot of things coming to an end, because there's something new that needs to be born and needs to emerge within us and among us and around us as we move through this period of time. And that's what's happening, and this is how it looks while it's happening. So it's just, it is what it is. Synchronicity card, God, Spirit, Universe. What do we need to know? What should we keep in mind? What's the best piece of advice or guidance for us right now to support us as we move through this energy? We've got a long shuffle going on. There's one. And it says, you guys, love equals respect. Which, with all of the Venus, Taurus, Libra, South Node, Black Moon energy, that does make sense. The children of this world are given in marriage, Luke 20:34. God is love, and when true love in the heart unites a man and a woman, it is God joining a couple. When difficulties and arguments occur, dissolve the problem in the light of God's love. Love, goodwill, and understanding are the keys to all human understanding. Respect one another. Refusing to treat one another with respect will cause more harm than any other act. So I guess, you know, respect is really kind of where it's at in terms of maybe our interpersonal whatever we got going on interpersonally this weekend, and keeping that sort of front of mind as we're dealing with other people probably will have some benefic influence over our lives. So that's what I have to say, you guys. Message for the weekend. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, share it with your friends. If you think they would be interested in this type of astrology content as well, leave me comments, you guys. I am very grateful for your contributions and your presence on my channel. If you're having experiences that play out or line up or match up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard, I have a Facebook group where I post images of those boards. You can find it in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. We've got more astrology to get into. We are moving through our Virgo cycle and heading towards our full moon in Pisces, which is actually an eclipse that's going to be coming up. I will be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you next time, everybody. Have a really beautiful weekend. And until then, bye, guys.